Hello, my name is Laura Love. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my experience with coronavirus. So yes, I tested positive for coronavirus. My name is Laura Love. I'm from Queens, New York, and I'm 25 years old. So I just kind of wanted to speak a little bit about like my signs and my symptoms and just some like what I experienced with it. I'm fairly young and I do not have any health conditions or anything like that. And I just kind of think it's important for people like me who kind of feel like, to be honest, who kind of felt like invincible to it, to kind of just share. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know who might be watching this and who might realize like, okay, wow, maybe I do have symptoms. Maybe I should go and check. But yeah, I'm going to be sharing my story, so stay tuned. Okay, so my name is Laura Love. I am from Queens, New York, and as many of you know, right now New York City is kind of like the epicenter of coronavirus in the US. And within New York City, we have 5 boroughs, and Queens is like the hot spot for coronavirus. So a little background. I got tested on Thursday, April 9th, which was the Thursday before Good Friday. And what kind of caused me to go get tested? Oh, by the way, if I'm looking down, I have my little handy dandy bullet journal with notes to make sure I kind of like touch on everything. Okay, so the Monday before that Thursday, I had like a headache. Now for me, headaches are not really crazy. They're not really far-fetched because in the past I have suffered with migraine. So like I didn't really think anything about it, and it wasn't a migraine. It was kind of like just like an annoying just like throb, if that makes sense. It was just little, so I'm like, okay, whatever. Then like maybe like the next day, within the next days, I kind of noticed that my smell was like gone. Now I didn't really notice right away because, you know, we're home, so I don't know. I'm not paying attention to smells right now. It's not like I'm spraying perfume on myself. I just kind of started realizing, like, wait a second, like I had sprayed something in the bathroom. And I'm like, why can't I smell this? And I'm Nigerian, so we had this thing called aboniki, and it's like Vicks times a million. So it's very strong. It's like a healing balm. It has a very, very, very strong smell. So what kind of made me a little nervous was I went and I like got the aboniki and I like got a scoop and I put it in my nose, like inside my nose, and I could not smell it at all. And it wasn't even like my nose was stuffy because I can breathe in and out of my nose. There was no smell hitting. Like it was just air. So shortly after that, my taste went, which for me was very hard because I don't know if y'all could tell, but I love to eat. I'm a foodie. I like food. I'd eat, and it wasn't that I couldn't taste it at all, but it was like, if this makes sense, it was like a half taste. It was like the little tip of a taste, but not the full taste, which was frustrating for me. So I decided like, okay, you know, maybe I should start taking it seriously because initially, especially with the smell, I wanted to say like it was allergies. But for one, I've never had allergies before. And like, you know, things just started adding up. And then on top of that, like 2 weeks prior, I had some family members who were sick, who were actually very sick, like older family members, like 50s, 70s, who were sick. And with them, they had went to the emergency room. They also tried going to clinics, but they were kind of turned away everywhere they went. And not to say anything on like the healthcare system right now in New York or anything like that, but what would happen was because they weren't like, you know, because they didn't need a ventilator, I guess that's what they said. They were asked to just kind of go home and rest and just to rest. So that was kind of very scary for me because, you know, the people that I'm close with, and they were really, really sick, like coughing, couldn't really breathe like that, fevers, chills, very, very scary situation. And thank God, like they came through it. But you know, I had that on my mind, and then with the symptoms, I'm like, you know what? Let me go find somewhere that's going to give me this test, because y'all know it's very hard to get that test. and just, figure it out. So I did my research. I found a facility in Queens that was a clinic in Queens, amazing service, that I was able to get tested. So a little bit about the test, just in case anybody's wondering what the test is like. It's not like an oral test, which, most times when you go to the doctor, you say they're like, oh, open your mouth, whatever. But it's not like that. They make you put your head back, and then they take a Q-tip and they like dig it deep, deep, deep in your nose. Like you feel like someone's swabbing your brain almost. And then with that, they ask you like your symptoms. So for me, my symptoms were the smell, the taste, headaches. So then at that point, the headaches were coming off and on. And then I was starting to get like little chest tightness. So not like pain, but like especially like it was just random. Nothing too crazy, but random. And again, this is my experience. I am not downplaying coronavirus. I am not speaking on anyone else's experience. Everyone is different. I am grateful and I am thankful that my experience was not that bad. But I just want to share with you guys what I went through, just in case it might be helpful to someone. Okay, so so I did the test on Thursday. The doctor already kind of prepared me for a positive result. He's like, listen, one thing that has been very common with people who are coming in to get tested is the loss of smell and taste. So he's like, you might come back positive, don't panic. We'll get through this together. So when you get tested, they tell you immediately to start self-quarantining. So I came home. As you know, we're already quarantining, but like for me, it was kind of sad for me because I am a Christian. I celebrate Easter. So like Easter weekend, Good Friday, that whole weekend is just kind of like, it's an exciting weekend for us. So for me, that was just kind of on my mind. I didn't leave my house. I was indoors, just, kind of praying and just waiting to see what came back. So I got my results back on Tuesday. I was supposed to get it back on Monday. They said it would be 5 days, but I got it back on Tuesday. I got the call that my test came back positive. So I don't know, I don't know how I felt. Like it came back positive and I kind of just was like, it took a little bit for it to like settle in for me. And my doctor was like, oh, so I asked him like, what should I be doing? And he pretty much just said like, just relax, try not to panic, and just, if you feel any fevers or any body aches, any headaches, to take Tylenol. Don't take anything else, just take Tylenol, which personally, I am an ibuprofen girl. Okay, me and ibuprofen, we're sisters. I'm not used to taking Tylenol, but I was like, okay, I'll follow this. If anything happens, Tylenol it is. So one thing that I definitely want to touch on is this. So the virus is one thing, right? Your body is like fighting this foreign invader who has decided to come and plant himself in you. But a whole nother thing that I really want to touch on is like the mental effects, the panic and the worry that comes with coronavirus, which personally I feel like makes you more sick. Now again, this is my experience, but I'm just sharing with you. So for me, what I realized was once I did get the positive diagnosis, it was like everything immediately intensified. Like my nose, I couldn't smell, but then it started burning. My chest, especially at nights, would be so tight. Like I would jump out of my sleep, like scared that I was about to die in my sleep, to be very honest with you. Just terrified. Like I live here, it's just me and my husband. So like I will wake up and like be breathing, be, are you okay? Are you okay? And it will just take me a while to get back to sleep. I did have one night, just one, where I had like shivers. So I didn't test my temperature. I don't think I had temperature, but I was just shivering in my bed. I had on all these layers of blankets and I was just shivering. Because what happens is like your body's already working to do this, and now your mind is being attacked too. Your mind is feeling like you're just thinking all these crazy thoughts. And for me, I'm thinking like, oh my God, like, what am I gonna do? the craziest thoughts. And like I said, I am a Christian. What I do believe in is the power of prayer, the power of the tongue, and just the power of your mindset. So I literally did have to nip that in the bud. Just kind of tell myself, first of all, you're going to live through this. You know what I mean? Secondly, you serve a God that you trust in. You know what I mean? Like, you believe in prayer. So you need to, like, act like you have some kind of assurance of something. And for me, that's what I did. I kind of just tried to, I didn't forget that my diagnosis, I still was quarantining. Like I said, I'm Nigerian. So like my mom, my mother-in-law were sending me all these remedies, teas and all these things that I was taking, and I was drinking and taking my vitamins. Like when I was feeling, out of it, taking my Tylenol. But I was also praying, and I was also believing that, listen, I'm going to be fine and I'm going to get better. And I say that just to say, like, and also why I'm even sharing this is just for us to remember, like, I know social media, the media, news, literally everyone you talk to right now is talking about coronavirus. And like I said, this is my experience, not to downplay it. I personally know people who have passed from coronavirus, like, that I know, who were in their 20s, early 30s, that have passed from coronavirus. So in no way do I take this for a joke. In no way do I take this lightly. In no way do I take for granted that I'm even here today to share the story with you guys. I just feel like it is important to also see some positive end results, to see some people who lived through it, because you who are watching it, you might have found out that you got, and that is another reason why I decided to even make this video, because this is such a negative and crazy situation, and there's such a taboo on it that, like, you don't even know your best friend, well, not your best friend, my best friend would tell me, but like, your friend can have coronavirus and be suffering alone, and be going through it alone, and be going through all those thoughts alone and all those emotions alone, because they don't even feel comfortable just being on the phone to be like, hey, I need support. Like, hey, this is what I'm going through. And I decided, like, you know what? I'm going to be that support. I may not know you. I may know you. This, just to let you know that there's someone here. There's someone who has gone through it and who is just sending positive, just love and prayers your way. Yeah, so what I really do hope, okay, so also another thing before I forget, I am a remote teacher. So as you guys know, with remote teaching, it's just everything is online, laptops, phones, tablets, video calls, no longer Zoom, as you guys know, but everything is online. So for me, I didn't take off because, I'm already home. So in my head, I'm thinking, like, it's not really fair to the parents, to the kids, for me to take off, because of this. But what I realized was I was doing myself a disservice by, like, pushing myself, because as I said, for me, I was getting headaches. I'm getting headaches, but I'm sitting in front of laptops all day. Not healthy. I realized I was honestly making myself more sick. At the end of the day, my head would be throbbing. So I definitely ended up having to take just 2 days to kind of just get myself together and just give my eyes a break from social media, give my eyes a break from my phone, give my eyes a break from my laptop, just give my eyes a break. And that was very helpful for me. Last thing I want to touch on is just the importance of your mental state during this quarantine time. Whether you have been diagnosed positive for coronavirus or not, please, guys, please remember to keep your mental sane. Remember to, like, that you are a person. Outside of corona, outside of quarantine, you are you. I am Lara Love. You are you, right? And we each have different ways to cope with things. We each just have different things that help us get through the day. For me, I don't know if this is right, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I'm going to share my experience. For me, it is almost impossible for me to be in my house 24/7. I am a Leo baby. I'm a summer baby. The thing about me, I need sunlight. If I go, even when it's like rainy days in a row, like before quarantine, and I was able to be outside, I would feel sad. Sometimes even sick. And I know that about myself. Now, with my experience, my husband and I, we own our own property in Queens. We have our own house in Queens. So for me, I am able to kind of just go outside, always with gloves, always with a mask, and just kind of walk in my front yard, walk in my backyard, come back inside. And honestly, even before I found out my positive diagnosis, what I would do is early in the morning, before people were up. I live on a residential street. I'd put on my gloves, put on my mask, put in my headphones, and sunglasses too, honestly. My whole face was covered, and just like take a quick walk down the block. Because for me, I needed that. And again, your situation may be different, but I did what I had to do to kind of keep my mind sane. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful that I did that thing. I'm grateful that I had the experience to do that. And with that, I wasn't speaking to anybody. There was honestly no one in the streets. And honestly, I'm the type of person, especially during all this stuff, if you're walking down the sidewalk, I'm stepping in the street and I'm walking in the street. It's nothing personal, but you don't know what you got. You sure don't know what I got. So, you know what I mean? But yeah, I just wanted to share my experience, talk a little bit about the signs and symptoms and how I felt when, I tested positive for coronavirus. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment down below, just like, if you're going through this right now, your experiences, maybe some tips, maybe some tricks, some tonics that y'all might use. I know I got a few if you guys are interested. And yeah, like, remember to just check on the people close to you. Remember to reach out to the people close to you if you are a person dealing with it. You're not a roach. You're not a disease. You're just somebody that came in contact with something. It may not even be a person. You might have just touched something, and coronavirus just like that. So let down below be just a moment for us to kind of share positive vibes, share positive energies, to kind of love on each other. If you want prayer, or just like drop it down below. You know what I mean? I'm here. Hopefully we're all here just to kind of help each other out and just to get through this situation. So thank you so much for watching. I hope I was able to help somebody today. Comment down below. Don't be afraid to like, share, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.